Hello and welcome back to Girls on Deck. I'm Kayla Burge, joined by Hannah Russo as always, and it is officially our favorite time of the year. MLB is back in season and we could not be more excited. Now, opening day for us was a little bit rocky, but I think we've both kind of picked up our slack. Right now, the Yankees are the second in the AL East, 3-2, and the Dodgers are first in the NL West, 5-1. So not a bad start for either team. But Hannah, I know you're eager to talk about the Yankees, so let me know what you think.
I'm just very excited that Giancarlo Stanton is back. I mean, Aaron Boone did take him out of, I believe it was Sunday's game, just because he wants to make sure that his injury-prone slugger is not injury-prone this season. So I'm appreciative of that because he'll keep playing and he'll be in the season longer. He hit a grand slam against, I believe, the Orioles on Monday night, and it was just a great game for them because it was a 7-0 victory. So I'm very excited for them this season and just excited to see what they can do. Now, how about you and your Dodgers?
I'm ecstatic. I mean, the first game I was like, what? The
Yeah.
Rockies, the worst team in our division, and we lose to the Rockies on the first game. And I got a little scared there for a second, but we took that loss, that embarrassing loss, and the Dodgers completely picked themselves up. We are now 5-1 in our games. Sorry, I jumbled my words there for a second. I mean, we've done absolutely amazing. We've had some homers, and I want to talk about the first game against the Rockies and the kind of weird play
Yeah.
that rare play with Cody Bellinger and Raimel Tapias from the Rockies. So
Mhm.
basically, Bellinger hit a 2-run homer out to Tapias, and he caught it for a second, and then it dropped. Well, Justin Turner, who was on first base at the time, didn't see that he had dropped the ball, so he starts to run back to first base. Now, as he's running back, Bellinger and him kind of go like that. And there's a rule in baseball where if the person who passes the runner, they're out. So basically, Cody Bellinger's 2-run homer went all the way back down to a single because of that kind of error. And it was just very bizarre play, not something that you see very often. And I just thought, I felt horrible for Bellinger because he's a guy who consistently is at the top of the charts when it comes to homers, and that everyone counts towards the end of the season when you're trying to go up against people. So I was I was upset too as a Dodgers fan, but I just thought it was a weird play, and I want to know what your thoughts on it were.
No, it's upsetting to see that happen just as a baseball fan in general. It's an older rule and it's a little irritating, but it was fine. They ended up winning that game, so it worked out in their favor. But if I were Bellinger, I know we discussed this the other night, but I would just pushed him along, like, go, keep running.
I know. I think they both kind of glitched though, because it did look like he had it in his hand, and then you didn't realize that it just kind of like, because the way he caught it, it's like he caught it on the fence
Yeah, and it just
and
tipped.
it slipped out. So it's one of those things where it's like just like a mental error. So I think that's what happened, because you saw, if you look back at the video, we'll try to get a highlight over this, but if you look back at the video, Bellinger kind of just like pauses as Justin Turner's running back. So it's one of those things where it was confusing, and it sucks. At the end of the day, we lost that game, but we won the series. So I'm
Yeah.
not pressed about it. I'm sure he's not really that pressed about it. You can't be, but I just thought it was a very interesting play.
No, it's open. It was opening weekend. Everyone's gonna have a few errors,
Mm-hmm.
especially after a weird last season and finally having your spring training and going back into a regular season. So they'll pick up. They're the Dodgers. They got this.
Yeah, I am not worried about them and excited to see them play further in this season. Now, speaking of crazy plays, there's been a lot since
Yeah.
opening day. So I kind of want to know like what your play of the week is, and I'll go first. Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Bay Rays. It's the bottom of the fourth against the Red Sox, and Hunter Renfroe is up to bat. He hits it out to Arozarena, and he makes this like backhand diving cat. Like I thought everyone thought it was going past him. They didn't think he was going to catch it. he makes this backhand grab and diving catch. Like I told my mom, I was like, I think he could have like dislocated his shoulder doing something like that. But
I
it was,
was watching it. Yeah.
yeah, it was an absolutely just amazing catch. And already they're like, yeah, I don't think anything would top it this season. And that was like, what, like 3 days in, if anything. Like it's crazy that it's something so early on, and that's not something that we haven't seen so far this season. So I've talked about him before, Randy Arozarena, that I love him. I think he's an asset for the Rays, star outfielder. So I think this is just another instance of him proving himself as just a really great outfielder, as well as a hitter.
Yeah, no, I agree. He made that play was amazing. I watched it a few times today just to make sure that I would say everything right about it when we were discussing it. And I was just like, how do you move like that? My shoulder would have popped out of its socket.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you have to be trained, and he's just reaching for it, and then he tucks and rolls. And
Yeah, I think that's one of those moments where you're not really thinking about anything but catching. He's
exactly.
doing his job, and he did it well. I mean, I was really just an amazing play. I saw that and I was like, Randy,
Yeah, it was
like,
very
know
impressive.
his name because
Mhm. No, I agree. And I would say another impressive play of the weekend, we've also talked about him a lot on Girls on Deck in last season and a little bit at the beginning of this season. But Fernando Tatis Jr., he had a play where it looked like he was swimming back into first base. He always gets very creative with his slides when he's coming back to first base after he's trying to steal or he's getting ahead or he's just trying to get in the pitcher's head. But he came back and he had his, I believe it was his left arm out, and he quickly rolled and it looked like he was swimming, and the announcers were like, he's swimming back to first base right now. And the first baseman, it was the Arizona Diamondbacks, Christian Walker, I believe, did not tag him out, missed him just by the hair of his jersey. So it was an excellent play,
no,
and
I no,
definitely one that the catcher was like, whoa, hold on a second, because I watched his face and he was like, that's not right. But it was an excellent play to watch.
absolutely. I saw that, and the Diamondbacks actually challenged the play because it was so close. You see,
Yeah.
he literally curved his body just perfectly. Like, to have that type of reflex is
Mhm.
phenomenal. Like, his body just like curves, and it literally, they were like, it might have touched the jersey, it might not have, but he
It,
missed it literally by a hair. And I literally, I saw the catcher too. The catcher's like, what? Like, no,
yeah,
we
it
got him
looked
out.
from different angles. It looked like he got tagged, but from the right angle, you can see it just missing it. It's like he planned it that way.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think a lot of players are going to be taking notes from that little move from Tatis Jr. Now, I mean, he is injured right now. I don't know if they made an update about whether
Mhm.
he's coming back or not. He partially dislocated his shoulder after striking out. So it kind of sucks because he's not even like he hit the ball and then you're like, oh, he struck out, dislocated his shoulder. So hopefully we see him back. Hopefully everything's perfectly fine. I know he said that he was having some issues with the shoulder in spring training. So, I mean, I would love to see that move again, the swimming, the
Yeah,
tuck
whatever
swim
else
move.
he
Yeah,
got.
whatever he'll trademark it as. But yeah, no, absolutely amazing plays of the week, and amazing player of
Yeah.
my lifetime, I guess, is Shohei Ohtani from the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah.
I
It's been 118 years since you've seen a starting pitcher go up, pitch, and then bat second in his lineup. He came out with a 100.6 mile an hour fastball and then a 115.2 mile an hour exit velocity. That's just insane.
yeah. He had the fastest pitch of any starter in 2021 and the hardest hit homer in the MLB in 2021. I don't know how you have both. Like,
No.
that's just not heard of. When you talk about, wanting designated hitters, that's the argument you can bring up, is that you want to see Ohtani hit. Like, I want to see this man hit. He is a freak of nature. Like, you see Clayton Kershaw hitting, trying to just get it out there, as best as he can. Garrett Cole, other pitchers, they can't do that. That's not,
No.
and that's not a horrible thing. That's just how pitchers typically are. You're just a pitcher, not really that great of a hitter. But I mean, Ohtani has proven that clearly that is a thing of the past. And I mean, it's just so exciting watching him play. And like you said, batting second.
Yeah, the MLB's struggling with their excitement and everyone's being like, "Oh, baseball's boring." Did you watch opening weekend? That's
Yeah,
my entire argument for is baseball boring? No, it's not.
it's not at all. This weekend there's just been and there's been a lot of like names that you don't really hear about kind of making moves.
Exactly. Yes.
The Los Angeles Angels making moves. Now the Orioles are first in their division too, above the Yankees, which
Yeah.
I was looking at. I'm like, we were just talking last week about how they're just probably one of the worst teams. So you're seeing a lot, it's still early, so obviously things will change throughout. But it's fun. It makes it exciting to see like how did that happen? So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm excited to see Ohtani continually play. I think the
Mhm.
Angels I would like to see them do more with their team. I still think, relying on him and Trout is not enough. They need a lot more action as a team because I
Yeah.
think they have everything they need to be a contender and they consistently fall short. So that's another argument for another day though. So
Yeah, we'll keep watching them this season and see what they do.
yeah, we'll see what moves they make because I think now they're like, oh crap, we need to hold on to Ohtani for the long haul.
Yeah, he's gonna be a name that comes up in the off season.
Oh, absolutely. Now going into the Detroit Tigers, another team which you don't really hear much about.
Yeah.
They brought up 22-year-old Akil Badu. He never played above an A-ball game before this past Sunday. And in his first game, he homers on the first pitch he sees. And
Yeah.
it doesn't stop there. Game 2 hits a grand slam. Game 3 walk-off hit. I mean, it's consistent for a guy who's not played above an A-ball minor league game to this. I mean, what do you think?
It's a fairy tale. Like that whole it's poetry. Like what better start to your major league career to opening weekend can you ask for? That it's the first pitch you see, you hit a home run, then you hit a grand slam, and then a walk-off to win the series or just that game, I believe, against your former organization. That's incredible and it's not done very often.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's exciting. His story's nice, I mean, his parents were actually there to see his
Yeah, they were. That was very
first
sweet.
hits. That's always super exciting, and I mean, it's fun. I like those stories. I like to see the little guy kind of come out on top, and that's why I think that's what gets people excited about baseball. It's something that we always talk about how it's such a struggle,
Yeah.
and yeah. So, well, when we come back, I do want to touch on something that's making baseball a little more exciting with these uniform changes, but stay tuned.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying today's episode on Hitting the Field Network. On my show, Take Me Out to the Podcast, we're bringing you the latest in MLB news and some incredible interviews with some incredible people, including Bobby from Outta Here Baseball, Bailey from Foolish Baseball, Dawson Wright, Alec Palmer from Momentum, and so many more. Be sure to tune in to Take Me Out to the Podcast every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on HTFN.
And we are back with Girls on Deck to discuss some recent moves that, baseball is attempting to bring in their younger audience. Now, the Boston Red Sox will be wearing these limited edition jerseys, part of something called the the City Connect series. Now, it's kind of what's the word? Attempt.
Yes.
Yes, an attempt to bring in a younger audience because, as you've seen in the NFL and NBA, they're always changing uniforms, making it a little different. Now you have the Miami Heat with their Miami Vice jerseys that are one of the top-selling jerseys in general. So, what do you think of this? Do you like because it's a green, or no, it's not green. It's a light blue and yellow jersey in honor of Patriots Day, which is a very big holiday in Boston, which is a great cause. But do you agree with them changing the color of their classic jersey?
Not really. They're the Boston Red Sox, not the Boston Sky Blue and Yellow Sox. And I know other teams are probably looking to do this too. and it has a great meaning behind it. Like they're including their area code 617 in a little marathon bib on the left sleeve, and their hats, they're going to keep their iconic B, but it's going to be sky blue. It's just, it's not something that I'm going to be used to seeing, because I'm going to look at them and I'm going to think of the minor league team, the Savannah Bananas, who have the same color scheme. And it's just not something that I'm looking forward to because I like the classics. But if it helps bring in another audience of a different age and of a different generation, I'm all for it. We need more people to watch baseball just to prove that it's still exciting. I mean, like we said, opening weekend was something else, something out of a movie. But if this does it for them and holds the attention of younger audiences like Miami Vice jerseys have, go for it. See if it works. And if it doesn't, well, you tried.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love it, but I do get the attempt. I think, it's weird just because baseball, again, which is a problem and a nice thing, it's such a 50-50. It's such a traditional sport. You don't see them break it a lot, which has hurt us, but that's also the nice thing about baseball is it's such a traditional sport and it doesn't change much.
It's
so
classic.
yeah, so I think that's like kind of the weird issue there, but I kind of like the idea of where they're headed. I like that, bring something in. It's kind of funny to me that like they're changing uniforms to bring in a younger, like I just think it's funny that uniforms have that much power, but they do, kids, you have people who don't even watch sports, so they like to wear jerseys. So it's a style thing now. So, whatever people can do. And there are 7 teams. They're scattered, unveiled dates. The Miami Marlins, the Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, Arizona Diamondbacks, San Francisco Giants, and the Los Angeles Dodgers will all be participating in the City Connect series throughout the season, not all at once. And I think it's a nice way, kind of slowly fill it out. I'm losing all my words today. Kind of slowly, just send it out. And I think, I think it's interesting. Again, I'm just like, my brain's like, how does a uniform have that much power? But
it does.
This generation, we do. I mean, you see that. Think about it. When you ask who watches baseball, no one I know really does watch it. It's like a needle in a haystack trying to find a kid my age who actually enjoys baseball. But if you ask a 50-year-old man, yeah, he loves baseball. I've been a fan since the 60s, so I get their attempt. I think it needs to be more exciting. I want to stop getting made fun of for enjoying baseball.
Honestly, like I'll go to games on campus and it's me and then all the players' parents or their girlfriends or their families, and then some other people here and there, but the only young people.
I think, and I think part of it is the atmosphere that baseball, has like a kind of more laid back atmosphere with people like football games and basketball games, because it's very like intense on the clock. But I think it's kind of fun to just like chill out and watch a baseball game, every so often. But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. Completely relaxing. It's just, you focus on one thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're making baseball stadiums a little more exciting these days. I went to the new Atlanta Braves Stadium 2 years ago. They had a whole carnival on the outside and everything.
That's cool.
Like a nice little bar and stuff. So like there's stuff even if you don't like baseball, you might as well just go to the games just for the scenery. I mean, I don't love the Marlins Stadium, what they did with it. And that's where I'm from. So that's where I frequent if I'm going to baseball games. But, they still have the same atmosphere with the bar on the side, trying to make it more fun. But it's, I don't know what's going to click to get people to like watch baseball. I really don't.
Hopefully this is it. I've seen more people going and being like, oh, that's a cool jersey. I want a jersey, or I want this jersey because that's my favorite number. So hopefully this is something that pulls their attention and then they get it and then they start watching.
Oh yeah, no, my guy friend, he's texted me yesterday. He hates baseball, big football guy, big basketball guy, not baseball. He goes, I want a baseball jersey. And I was like, you make fun of it. Why do you want one? Because it's cool. Well, then watch it. Maybe. And he's just like scrolling through teams, like whatever team I want. I'm like,
Whichever team sounds the coolest.
Yeah, like it's fine at this point, I guess. No, so yeah, we'll see how this lays out. I think it's gonna be interesting. The Red Sox still are gonna perform well. They've been doing decently, so I guess I can't say that right now, but
I mean, they're not terrible, but again,
they're not.
they're the Red Sox.
They will continue to be the Red Sox. I want to know where they're at right now.
They
And
just finished their series with the Rays.
yes, okay,
They're
they're
still
still
there?
second to last in the AL East, so they're not great, but we still have a lot of baseball to go, and I think this season is proving that we're going to see a lot of things that we didn't expect to see. You know, maybe the Yankees and Dodgers don't make it all the way to the World Series.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I mean that's a world I don't want to live in, but it's a possibility. You're seeing a lot of teams kind of like show out. I think they're tired of the same teams entering back, and that's what makes it more exciting to me. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see where we go with this season, especially with younger players coming out and debuting. So I'm excited, and hopefully we'll get everything that we want from it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I will be watching tonight. The Dodgers have a game at 6. So by the time the show's pretty much out, the Dodgers will be playing or have won already. Who knows? So I will be watching tonight. I know you will be watching tonight. So thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week, probably with more MLB, and we couldn't be more excited about it. Thank you so much for watching.